Here we go. Hello again, it is me, back with a review of the live-action Death Note. So disappointing! This will be a spoiler-full version, so if you want a spoiler-free version, click... okay, yep, somewhere up there, I think maybe over here, to watch the spoiler-free. Okay. Let's start with Light. For those of you who haven't seen the anime, Light is meant to be a straight A honor student. He's meant to be really, really smart and manipulate people, not the other way around. He's not supposed to be the one manipulated. At all. Like at all. Like everyone loves him is the thing, like everyone. All the girls have a crush on him, maybe a few boys have a crush on him, the teachers love him, he doesn't do anything wrong, which is why it's like no one really suspects him apart from L. This is the whole thing. But no, the movie makes him sell notes to people and then he gets caught and gets detention. Like, what? It doesn't make sense. So this is what Light's hair is supposed to be, like this is what his head is supposed to look like. Nice, normal, brown hair. Easily replicated, and he has a nice face. This is what they did with Light. This actor has brown hair naturally. Why would he dye it to get blonde? Like, I don't understand the thought process behind that decision from like the creative team. The key difference between Light and the actor that plays Light and a few of the other actors in the movie is you can tell that he did not even watch the first episode of the anime. Like, no way did he watch it because he is nothing like it. And I understand that you know, some of the factors, the script and the director's direction and, you know, all of that stuff, but still. Based on a very popular anime, I would have thought that all of the actors would at least watch 1 or 2 episodes. Especially because it's not a bad anime, so... Something else that bothered me was that he kept yelling, just in general, just Light yelling. He doesn't do that a lot. He's very calm and collected and calculating, like he thinks about stuff a lot, which is something you really didn't get in this movie, which bothered me. Ugh. But also something he really yells about is the book, is the Death Note, and like, oh, we have to get this all under control, and it's like, stop talking about it in public. You wouldn't do this. I've already mentioned this, but it bothered me so much that I am going to mention it again. Light is manipulated in this movie. He should not be manipulated. He is the one that manipulates. He, you know, he works out every possible thing. He messes up a few times like in the anime, but you know, it's bothers me so much. And in the anime, you grow to almost admire him for being so smart and for just thinking about everything, and even though he's killing all these people, you're like, yeah, you're an intelligent dude, like, props. I didn't even like him in the movie, like, he's my favorite character in the anime and I didn't even like him in the film, like, that's just ridiculous. How do you mess a character up that much? I will say this, there was one part that I did like, and it's after the Ferris wheel scene, if you've seen the movie, where Light's cunning is like explained to you because he, you know, he figures out how to get himself out of a situation and get back in control, and then he explains it. The way he does it is stupid. The fact that he's confessing is stupid and just stupid. Can you tell I didn't like this movie? Oh, okay, moving on from Light, let's talk about L. The actor did so well. Like, he got his voice, he got his mannerisms, like, it's really, really well done. The only parts that really bothered me was, first of all, you first see him and he's walking around a crime scene. First of all, you're not supposed to walk around a crime scene, especially because it's all gory and bloody and stuff. You're gonna get your shoe prints in the blood. What are you doing? And also, he's in person way too much. Like, way too much. I understand they wanted to show the actor and all of that, but it's like, it's just so unrealistic for Elle's character. But like I said, the actor did really well especially with what he was given. Like he acted the crap out of this. I enjoyed watching him more than I enjoyed watching Ryuk, and we'll get to that. Okay, there's a scene where Light and Elle are talking, and it started off okay, and then it just descended into something that was ridiculous, and they were yelling at each other. Obviously they were trying to capture a scene from the anime where Light and Elle are kind of sizing each other up, and it's really like mind games kind of thing. In the movie, they're just straight up talking, like Elle's just like, Light, I know you're Kira, like, nah, and Light doesn't even deny it. He just looks at him like an evil person, like it's ridiculous. So when I was watching it, I've written all of these notes. Why is Elle walking around? And especially at a crime scene. And what is with the sleeping, singing scene in the car? Yeah, that was so weird. It was with Elle and Watari after Elle's walking around the crime scene and Watari sings to him to help him sleep. What? Was that meant to like show the bond between them? Because it didn't. It was just weird and really out of place, and like, yeah, Watari actor has a nice singing voice, but I didn't need to know that. Like why don't you spend the screen time developing Light's character correctly rather than having Watari sing? It's just very weird. And again, I've gone, Elle's in public with a bunch of like question exclamation points. It's like, because yeah, he goes out in public and yeah, he's got his, like, the bottom half of his face covered, but he shouldn't be in public that much. Like, he's walking around. At one point, he's in Light's house and it's just like, what are you doing? You keep yourself separate from everything so you can objectively view all the evidence. What? Also, another problem I had with the whole Elle thing was they really made him seem dependent on Watari. It bothered me because he sort of relies on him in the anime, but it's not a dependent relationship. Like he doesn't need him to survive. Like he's there to help him, kind of. Okay, Ryuk. Ryuk kind of encapsulates my whole problem with the film, kind of symbolically, because we never saw his like full on, which brings me to one of the notes I have. Turn a light on. Lighting is a thing, yes, I understand that, and lack of lighting is also a thing. But when you have one of the most fun characters of the anime shrouded in darkness, it ruins his character. And also, Willem Dafoe, credit, his voice is fantastic. I'm gonna say that the problem is with the script, because obviously the actor doesn't really have any control over the script. So the problems with Ryuk's character aren't Willem Dafoe's fault, but he's just it seems tiny, but in the first episode of the anime you get this detail. It's that Ryuk eats whole apples. There's nothing left of the apple, like he even eats the stem. But in this movie, he leaves basically majority of it. Like, and this happens a lot, like he's eating like a dozen apples at one point. and he chucks them on the floor, and I guess it's meant to be kind of spooky but also not, because they don't explain why he likes eating apples, so it just seems kind of weird. So people that haven't seen the anime are going to be like, why is he eating apples? Oh, another Ryuk thing. Jump scares don't work if you can't see them. This is another problem I had with the lighting, because at one point, like, Light's doing something sketchy, I don't know, he's in his bedroom and it's dark, because when is it not dark? And Ryuk, I think, pops out at him or something like that, and it's like the music's like duh! And Light like gets a fright, and you're just sitting there like, I couldn't even see it. And I am the first to jump at jump scares. Like, I get scared really easily. I didn't get scared at that because I couldn't see it. The thing with the anime, it's all very well lit for the most part, and you can see everything. And you know what? It's actually more chilling than the movie was. Another thing with Ryuk, and kind of, so there's this girl Mia, who I guess is Misa Amane's parallel, but she would, I guess I can forgive the actress, although she wasn't very good. She bothered me a lot. But the rule in the anime is whoever touches the Death Note can see Ryuk. She touches the Death Note so many times, and it's like, oh, only the owner of the Death Note can see. No, that's not right. And then she uses the book and she still can't see him. What? What? That's so, Like, I think that was their excuse for like not paying to CGI Ryuk, even though it's not really CGI, it's only his like face is CGI, because they made Willem Dafoe a costume. So it's like, I don't actually understand. And you're shrouding him in darkness anyway. You probably could have just had Willem Dafoe's normal face and I wouldn't have known the difference, because we barely saw his face. Let's go to this Mia chick. So along with Ryuk, Mia is the person that like influences Light to start doing the Death Note stuff, which is so stupid because she is not as smart as him. She shouldn't be thinking of this stuff. She does the cool stuff right up until the end. Like, it's so stupid. It felt like a really unnecessary relationship because it didn't add anything to the film at all. Like, they tried to kind of manufacture it too much, and also the actors had zero chemistry. There are multiple scenes where they're like kissing and stuff, and it's just like, I don't care about this. I wanna see Elle and Light play mind games, not two teenagers making out. Like, I don't care about that. Another actor I did actually enjoy was, forget his name, but he plays Light's dad, and he's actually very good. Like, I was like, eh. And then he got better. You grew to love him. Moving on from actors and characters, and let's talk about plot, because Light's mother being dead creates a massive plot hole where if his dad dies, Light's an orphan. That's stupid. Obviously it didn't happen, so that's like fine, but it's so stupid. Also, Light doesn't have a sister, I guess. The change from how the Death Note originally gets into the human world was so stupid. I hated it. So the reason they give in the film is that there was a dude that had it beforehand, and then he sucked, so Ryuk killed him, or he got convicted or something. So Ryuk took back his notebook and then dropped it again, and Light found it, and he's like, oh, if you can't do this, if you don't have the guts to do this, leave it for a week and I'll take it away and give it to someone who will. So Ryuk influencing Light to do it is so stupid, because in the anime, Ryuk's bored. He doesn't want to sit around doing nothing for an eternity. First of all, he gets 2 books. He already had 1 book. He pretended that he lost it. He tricks the main Shinigami into giving him another book, so he has 2 in his possession, and then he drops 1 into the human world because he's bored, and he's like, I guess I gotta go get my Death Note back, and he wants to just observe the humans, and then Light makes it really interesting for him, and he's like, oh, this is so much fun. Also, something that Ryuk says at the end of the film is, humans are so interesting, which is a direct quote from Ryuk from the first episode of the anime. Scriptwriter of this film, please note, taking a direct quote from the source material does not make your film good at all. The goriness, the brutalness of all the deaths is definitely captured. There's like 1 heart attack. The heart attack is the default death of the Death Note, so it just really bothered me that you only saw like 1. Something that really bothered me was Light was not thinking about repercussions for innocence. There are quite a few people who just inadvertently are involved in someone's death because Light has written it in the death note. Those people would be arrested for manslaughter, at least manslaughter. Like, that's horrible. They're not gonna escape conviction because the person's dead and they were involved. Like a guy that trips and makes a guy's head fall onto a knife. He's gonna be arrested, he's gonna lose his job. Like, you're ruining someone's life and that guy did nothing. Whereas in the anime, when someone just has a heart attack, no one else is involved because the person just, I'm having a heart attack, I'm gonna die now. I will say the montage of Kira's popularity growth was actually very good because it's reminiscent of the anime. Go figure that part would be entertaining. Although, he came up with his own name. That doesn't, no. Put it down again. Why do they keep yelling about the book / situation? Yes. Why? And they do it like a lot. They do it like at school. They do it just walking down a street. Like, it's ridiculous. You would not be yelling about this. That whole prom scene. A quick note on the music of this film. The instrumental music is really good. The music with lyrics is terrible. So ill-placed and just really bad. There's a point where Light is controlling Wataru over the phone, which again, doesn't make sense. That's a bit of a plot hole because you can only control them by writing him a death note, but Light's like telling him what to do over the phone, which doesn't make sense. But also, Light, he has the plan to like not kill Wataru because you can like burn the page and then that person's saved or whatever. But he's on the phone with him and he's not disguising his voice. You would think that Light would disguise his voice so that when Wataru isn't dead, as Light plans, he couldn't go, oh hey, let's talk to that Light guy. I think I recognize his voice. He was the one controlling me over the phone. So overall, I'm just disappointed with this film, honestly. I'm disappointed that I was smarter than the film because the reason I love the anime so much is because I'm not smarter than it. I'm taken along for this ride of twists and turns and you don't know what's going to happen next and like who's going to go crazy, who's going to die next, what's Light going to do, and there's all these other people involved and it's just more interesting. I don't like seeing plot holes. I hate seeing plot holes a lot, especially with this kind of thing where it's supposed to be mind games and everything. There shouldn't be plot holes. You should make sure, because if a random viewer can point something out on a first viewing that's a plot hole, that's inadvertently making them smarter than your smartest character. I'm sorry, supposed to be smartest character. So my rating out of 5 stars is probably a 1, and that's only because you can tell a few actors either watched the anime or read the manga or something to get a grip on their characters, and the instrumental music is actually really good, but the main character isn't likable, which is a huge issue. There are plot holes, which is a huge issue. No one turns a light on, which is an issue. The main character not being like his counterpart in the manga and the anime is a massive issue. But you know, the effects weren't bad, I guess, for the most part that I could see. Like the Ferris wheel falling apart scene is actually well shot and it's interesting, but it's a bit too dark. There's just too many little things wrong with this to make it any higher rating than 1 star, which makes me really sad actually, because this could have been so good. It was such a disappointment. This adaptation could have gone a wonderful way where everyone would have loved it. It could have been so stimulating and the mind games really could have been there, but they messed it up and they ruined it, and me and my friend who I watched it with actually had to watch the first episode of the anime straight after finishing the movie to cleanse our souls of the horridness that is this live action adaptation. If you disagree with me and think differently, please comment below and tell me. If you haven't seen the anime, I 100% recommend you to watch it because it's really good. And it's a lot longer and it's a lot better. It's really good, and like I said, this film didn't do it justice, so please go and watch the anime if you haven't. So thanks for watching, subscribe if you haven't. I have a few plans for some movies and some cool video ideas which I'm actually really excited to do. So you don't want to miss them, do you? No! So subscribe! Yeah! You can watch the spoiler-free version if you want to. I'll put that right here if you want to watch it, or you can watch one of my other videos which YouTube recommends for you, and you can click here to subscribe. Okay,